Hey, it's Brian King here. I had a comment in one of my discussion threads yesterday that I really want to address because it's all too common and it's very important. You have a kid with either ADHD or Asperger's that just seems to leave messes everywhere. Their toys are all over the house and they don't clean them up. They get something to eat and they leave a big mess on the table, do nothing about it. Any space they seem to be in looks like a bomb hit it, and then they just move on, almost nonchalantly. And they throw up these illusions as to why it happens. They'll say, I don't care. I don't wanna. So what? That's all baloney. It isn't that they're apathetic. It's that they frankly don't know how to clean up. And let me explain to you why that is. Executive functions are part of the equation when you're dealing with challenges like ADHD and Asperger's. The things that are typically missing are things like sequencing, organization, the ability to look at a collection of objects and have some sense of how they logically go together. When you look at a messy bedroom, you have to be able to look at it and get a sense of the plan you're going to follow, where you're going to start, where everything is going to go, how the room is going to look when you're done. Kids with ADHD and Asperger's typically lack this ability. Let me tell you this again. They lack the ability. They don't lack the motivation. They don't have the wrong attitude. They're not lazy. They simply don't know what the heck to do. Let me give you two stories here. One, there's a young man that I worked with many years ago, and I'm sure that you've probably experienced this. Comes home at the end of the school day, drops the coat and the book bag right on the floor, goes into the kitchen for a snack, or immediately goes to the video game. What the heck is that about? It isn't because the kid's lazy. This kid in particular, I walked him through his thinking to see, was he sequencing? What was his priority? And his priority was getting home from a very horrendous, stressful school day and doing something relaxing. So he had just a couple steps. Get off the bus, get in the house, get a snack. Nowhere in that sequence was hang up your coat, put the backpack where it belongs. So even though his mom said, you need to pay attention to this, you need to remember to hang up your coat, he had no idea how to put those things in the sequence. It sounded like it was obvious, it was common sense. Well, it is for somebody with that intact executive function. He didn't have it. So we literally had to start with creating him a list that he would see as soon as he came in. So he saw, hey, remember to hang up your coat. Remember to put your backpack here. And he started doing it because the sequencing, the plan had been created, something that he's unable to do on his own in his head. Same with the messy room. Many years ago, my son, who's now 16, I think he was about 6, when we would ask him to clean his room, he'd burst into tears because it was so overwhelming to him. He had no concept of where to begin, where things belonged. Okay, I see socks on the floor. I see dirty clothes. What the heck do I do with this chaos? So we had to create, or rather my wife, being the brilliant person she is, she's more organized than anybody I've ever met. She had a bunch of 3x5 index cards that she put in a little case. And one of them said, pick up socks off the floor, put them in the basket. One task. Okay, so he did that and completed it. Went back for another card. Pick up dirty shirts, put them in the basket. He needed it broken down like that for him because he simply did not have the capacity to plan it. I am 47 years old. I have ADHD and some Asperger's, and my ability to create a plan is really haphazard. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. I work off my lists. I work off mind maps and workflows because even if I were to learn the plan once, I would likely not retain it either in its entirety at all, or I would forget pieces. So having this written out for me is gold because I can go back each time and say, okay, how the heck am I supposed to do this again? Yes. I go to this sheet that has the plan spelled out, I follow it step by step, and I get it done. So when you're looking at your kids who are unable to pick up their toys and put them away, they're unable to put things where you ask them to put them, you need to remember that the child needs help creating a plan that he or she can execute very concretely, very sequentially each and every time. Because the more decisions that are involved in it, the more creativity that's involved, the more stressful it's going to be. So sit back and understand that this is not a kid pushing back. This is not a kid who is ornery and lazy or whatever. This is a kid who is struggling to engage the world in an organized way. And this is one way you can support them. Now, this is the tip of the iceberg. This is just one example, okay? You know I talk about this stuff every single day. You know I do this for a living. I have a membership program that you can find at resiliencewarriors.solutions. It is loaded with very in-depth video trainings on this subject and many others. And there are also twice weekly support calls where we get on live and problem solve things that are happening each week. So you don't have to sit there and struggle and pull your hair out and resign yourself to this life thinking, well, it's just the way it is. I've told my kid everything. I've tried everything. This is just how it's going to be. That is nonsense. You don't have to settle for this because I'm here to give you some help. And hopefully this tip has been helpful for you as well. If so, leave a comment. Let me know how this has been helpful. Most importantly, give it a shot. Try it out. Let me know what kind of results you get. And if there's somebody else you think can benefit from this, go ahead and share it with them. They'll thank you for it. This has been Brian, and we'll talk again soon.